Hey guys, this is Biffer from Revolution of Gaming, and I'm going to talk about the Rogue class this time. I've got a request from a YouTuber called Lenore, and he wants to know how to be successful as Rogue. Well, obviously, in order to be successful with any class, you need a couple of skills. Most important skills being deck building skills, and of course, playing the actual game. Once you're inside a game, playing the best you can with the hand that you have and the cards on board. So, as you might have found out the week before last, there are two tournaments, the European and the North American Mana Grind tournaments, and both have been won using aggressive rogue decks. So, well, we can say rogue is a pretty fantastic class. It's not overpowered, but it has a lot of great potential. In the current meta, which is really fast-paced and aggressive, the rogue is doing really well. Just because you can make really aggressive decks with it. It has a lot of low-cost removals and a lot of direct damage spells. You can basically wreck with it. Just because the current meta favors aggressive decks. You just look at the most popular cards used in any deck, like Argent Commander, I don't know, Azure Drake, Shadow Sun Cleric, things like that. It's really aggressive right now, and you can get pretty good with a rogue deck. So I'm gonna talk about two types of decks, and I will show off a few games. This here is my Rogue Aggro deck. It's a really aggressive deck. Usually if you haven't won by turn 6 or 7, it's going to be pretty hard to win from then on. It's based on low cost minions and low cost spells. You see, I even got the Stone Task Born here just to dish out some early damage. Just got charged on it, so it's a decent card to play early on if you're using an aggro deck. Got Leopard Gnome. With this card, you can be sure that you will deal 2 damage to the enemy hero, no matter what. Even if they silence it, they won't be able to kill it, so you can still deal 2 damage with it. Some of the most favorable cases are when you deal 4 damage, just 2 damage with its attack and then the passive. I'm using some spells like Eviscerate, 4 damage for 2 mana. That's pretty decent if you use it as a combo. The Rogue's combo mechanic is really awesome because you can gain advantage by using that, like Perdition's Blade combo. Just you get a 2/2 weapon for 3 mana, and you deal 2 damage if used in a combo. Same thing with SI7 Agent. You can deal 2 damage with the combo. Just with the Defias Ringleader, you basically get a 4/3 for 2 mana if used in a combo. Well, it's not the same as a 4/3 minion, but it's really good. And I'm using some of the obvious picks in my deck, such as Fairy Dragon, which is one of the best 2 mana minions, and Iron Beak Owl. Always have an owl in your deck, no matter what. Well, almost no matter what, because you get a 2/1 for 2 mana and you get a silence. That's really good. Yeah, like I've said, this deck is based on early aggressiveness and trying to finish off your opponent as early as possible. I'm gonna go on now and show you a few games with it. Okay guys, here we are with the Rogue Aggro deck. Let's see what we can do here. I'm gonna replace this Eviscerate. Actually, I'll keep it. Just curious. I don't have any 1 or 2 minions, unfortunately, which would have been favorable for me, but everything is fine. Just on my turn. If I'm lucky enough, he will spawn something. I will use my backstab on it and just combo the Ringleader out, and then coin the 4-drop. Here we go. advantage. As you can see, this deck, well, usually the Rogue class, it has a lot of low cost removal. Backstab, for example, that's 0 mana there. 2 damage for 0 mana. That's really good. That's actually really good. Just I'm gonna coin this Dark Iron Dwarf here. Boom. That Defiance Ringleader is 4 damage now. As you can see, this is focused on early game aggressiveness. It's turn 3 right now, and I have 2 4 attack minions out. Hopefully he won't destroy any of them. My poly one. Oh, kind of cold. Still hasn't destroyed them. He will definitely take that out with his Fire Blast. But everything's fine. Let's see now. Preferably you should combo something if you can. What I'm gonna do is, obviously I should use this on a minion if possible, but I will still use it just to combo this ringleader out. I could have used the Shatterstone Cleric and saved the Defiance Ringleader, but I decided to get these 2 guys out just because he would have killed it anyway with his Blizzard. Well, he killed those 2, but still I guess some really good minions out. Now I'm gonna use the Cleric on him just to make sure he doesn't die and eviscerate him. It's really good to take advantage of the combo mechanic because, well, as you can see, it doubles the damage from the battle cry for this card, but not only this card. For the Ringleader, if you combo it, you get another 2 attack minion out, and if those 2 survive, it's basically double damage from the Ringleader. What I'm gonna do now is I will, take my weapon out, buff it. Really need to take out these mana worms. These are really dangerous. If they get to buff one of those, you are pretty much done for early game. You're really powerful. I don't know what that secret is though. It might be Ice Block. He hasn't. I'm sure it was a mirror entity because. Well, actually, does mirror entity work on fairy dragons? This can't be targeted by spells, so I'm guessing mirror entity won't work on it. Ooh, lucky me. He hasn't destroyed anything. It will do with Fire Blast. Everything's fine though. Let's see now. Backstab this little bastard. Ooh, Spellbender.
I'll take that.
Hello. I haven't seen you around much. Okay, so everything's fine. Let's see now. Take out him. I think I'm going to save my. Yeah. No, just take the Perdition Blade out, destroy that. Yeah, I didn't have to lose any minions. I was thinking of using the Fairy Dragon just for keeping the Iron Dwarf alive for another turn, but it worked out fine with the Perdition Blade. Like I said, a lot of early game aggression. Now he's had to use a Fireball just for that one minion. Usually you force your opponent to... oh, I've won. Yeah, you usually force your opponent to use removals pretty early, and that puts him to a disadvantage because later on he will not be able to use the removal spells on your stronger minions. With the aggro deck, you don't really have stronger minions such as, I don't know, a Sea Giant with 8/8 attack or too many legendaries, but they're all pretty balanced. Well, of course, there's a difference between the Stone House Boar and the Dark Iron Dwarf, but it's not such a huge difference, such as with, I don't know, Deathwing, for example. But you force him to use the removals pretty early, and you get to nuke him towards mid game. That was the aggro deck, showing off how you can output a lot of damage and finish your opponent early game. Now I'm going to do the Miracle Rogue deck. Moving on to the Miracle Rogue deck. A lot of people have been using this or some decks similar to this in their games, simply because it is one of the most powerful rogue decks there are. This deck is based on low-cost minions such as Questing Adventurer and Mana Addict that you can buff with spells, and because of the rogue having many low-cost spells such as Backstab, which is 0 cost, you get 1 mana spells like Cold Blood, Conceal, Deadly Poison, things like these. You can buff these guys really well. Like, imagine just tossing out a Questing Adventurer, 2 Backstabs, that's already, you get a 4/4 for 3 mana, and you get the damage off the Backstab. It's just really powerful. If they let your Questing Adventurer and Mana Addict alive for more than 1 or 2 turns, you can really buff them up and deal a lot of damage. I mean, also using the Gadgets and Auctioneer simply because it's a really powerful card drawer used in conjunction with the rogue's low-cost spells. As you can see, I've got spells going from 0 mana to 5 mana, nothing for 6, and then a 7 mana card, which is Sprint, just to make sure that if you do get to turn 6 or 7, depending if you have a coin or not, you usually run out of cards on decks that have a mana curve focused around 2 or 3. You usually run out of cards when you get to turn 7, so you just pop up Sprint, draw 4 cards, and you're set. He's also using Pint-Sized Summoner, which is kind of useful with these low-cost minions, because usually you can just get 1 extra minion in instead of being left with 1 mana when you're in your turn and things like that. Using some of the obvious spells like Fan of Knives and things like that. Obviously, I've got the Ironbeak Owl and Acidic Swamp Ooze, which are really good. For the Acidic Swamp Ooze, you get a 3/2 for 2 mana, which is already good, but in addition to that, you also destroy your opponent's weapon. Now, when you're playing against a mage, priest, or things like that, the battle cry is useless, but if you're playing against a warrior, or I don't know, a rogue, you will definitely damage him. And by that I mean you're gonna destroy his weapon, and he will be screwed. Okay, let's get on to a few games with this deck and see how it behaves in some games.
Versus Malfurion. I must protect the wild.
Watch your back.
Okay, guys, here we are with the Miracle Rogue deck, and we've got an SI7 agent, a Mana Addict, and the Defias Ringleader in our starting hand. Let's think about this. I'm not going to replace anything now. I will pop out the Mana Addict on turn 2. Got a Conceal. That's good. I will pop out the Mana Addict on turn 2 and see if I can buff it with any spell after that. Like I've said, this deck is based on the Mana Addict, the Gadgets and Auctioneer, and the Questing Adventurer. The Gadgets and Auctioneer are used for simply
I can taste the mana.
for simply drawing cards. You can get you can get a lot of cards just with that one minion, because you get a lot of low-cost spells with the Rogue. And the other two, Questing Adventurer and the Mana Addict, are really good for buffing. for getting buffed using those same low cost spells. So I'm gonna destroy that one. Get his damage down and remove him as well.
Thanks.
Let's see what he does next. I'm gonna combo one of these two next turn if I can. But he hasn't got anything good to play either.
One shot.
Ooh, the archer. That guy's going down. Okay, this is good.
I hope you like my
This novice engineer card is really good. You get a 1/2 and a card draw, which is really awesome.
This is our
Combo
Here we go.
Yeah, beat it.
So we've got two attack minions and one novice engineer with 1 attack on, and he hasn't got anything. Even though I've lost some HP, but remember, HP is only a resource. Life is a resource, and we use it to win games. Even though you lose, if it goes to 0, it is only a resource. Now I've got the Questing Adventurer out, and I'm hoping to get it buffed with some low-cost spells, well, cards in general. He might get 3 damage. Yeah, he's getting 3 damage. He's getting rid of that Questing Adventurer because he knows it will hurt later on. Fortunately for me, I've lost both the Mana Addict and the Questing Adventurer. Of course, I've got a copy of both left in the deck left still. Let's get these guys out.
This guy's toast.
Oh, if you're sure.
I'm not going to use Conceal just because I don't want to waste the buff on the Mana Addict.
My eyes are open.
Kill. Yeah, he has killed the engineer. Poor guy. Let's see now. Oh, this is nice. Okay.
We must cleanse
Structure
the
Sun
Sunwell.
Cleric. I'm gonna give him 4 HP just so I can finish off this guy.
Hey, lights out.
I am going to use Conceal just to buff that guy. And so I can save my SI7 agent from his hero ability.
Here we go.
Just gonna do 1 more damage with that, and I'm moving on. Looks like I haven't had a chance to use my Fan of Knives. Wow, Ancient of War, a golden epic. That's really nice. I mean, they could have done a better job with the animation on these cards, but it's still good. Now using a sprint. Let's see what we get. If I get a backstab, I'll be happy. Oh no. It's fine. This guy is really powerful. So we are going to take him out.
Hey, lights out.
Now I've just lost a 3-for-1, 4 if you count the weapon, but I haven't had a choice. One thing you must realize is how important card power is. Because if you get left with, I don't know, 1 card or no cards, and he still has 4 or 5 cards, and even if you have board control for the moment, he can still come back and defeat you because you don't have any options. You don't have anything to do. He has more options than you because he's got more cards. And it's really important to understand when it's favorable to trade minions and when it is not.
Give me a
Talk about
quest.
questing adventure now with the bias leader, and I'm going to use the taunt so he doesn't kill off my adventure just yet. I'm gonna end my turn now. If I had a sap right now, that would have been useful for the protector. Wow, another taunt. He's had 2 Ancients of War, that's really strong. And he's buffing them. Good job, Zentry.
Well played.
However,
Well played.
damage that.
My time.
Ooh, nice. 1 engineer out. I will give... Who shall I give 4 damage to? You. Oh god. Well, it looks like this was your unlucky day, mister. Because you're going to die. Who shall I buff next? Buff him. Now what's going to happen is...
Quest accepted.
Still get 2 HP left, so you won't finish it off with his shapeshift. I'm going to finish him off with... yeah, him. And my 3-3 on the Iron Bar Protector. And still deal 6 damage to him. This just shows off how much low cost removal the Rogue has. I mean, you've just seen me deal a lot of damage to him. And now I'm gonna finish him off. It's GG. Well, hello there. Oh, I've got a silence for you. I was going to use my Shiv on him, get him to 6 HP, finish him off, and then he'd kill.
Quest accepted.
Yeah, that is GG. And this is the power of the Rogue, people. It's a really good class. You see me draw a few cards with that Auctioneer, and I buffed that Questing Adventurer to hell. I mean, I got him to 8-8 and went to 10 damage, or 11 was it? You've seen what the Miracle Rogue deck can do. Is really powerful, even in this aggressive meta that we have right now. It is not a highly aggressive deck. It still is aggressive a bit, but not as aggressive as the aggro deck, be it Rogue, Mage, or Warlock, whatever. But you've seen the Questing Adventurer doing some heavy damage, and the Auctioneer getting a lot of cards for me. You've seen how useful having an owl is. I mean, I silenced that taunt and I finished him off. That's really good. And you've seen how powerful the combos are for the Rogue. That's a really good mechanic. Only Rogue has it, and it's really strong. What else? That being said, I hope you guys have found this video useful. If you do have any more questions, feel free to post in the comment sections below the video or message me on YouTube. If you do need any other classes explained or any tips, just comment on the video and I will do my best to accommodate your request. This is Spiffer from Revolution of Gaming, and this has been the Rogue How to Play video. Thanks again for watching, like, subscribe if you want, and I will see you guys next time.